vicious hypnosis, clenched fists saying it's wrong to want more than a folk song. Underneath the shaking it, he's a brick wall, she keep falling. Buy this car to drive to work to pay for this car. Buy this car to drive to work.
Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I'm Jordan, and tonight I'm going to talk about Trump finally putting John Bolton in check. Or does he? But first, please consider donating to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The link is in the description box, and the website is in the intro to this video. Please donate right down there. Hit the description box, GoFundMe account. That is for Devon's Journey to Recovery. Open up that wallet up. Make a donation. Any amount will help. Thank you. All right, so I saw this recently on Twitter. People were reposting the article from the Washington Post talking about a frustrated Trump questions his administration's Venezuela strategy. And some notable journalists have been putting this out. Aaron Mate, Glenn Greenwald. I'm like, okay. And I look into it a little bit. And it looks like it's Trump's saving face on this whole Venezuelan coup and regime change in Venezuela. That's what it seems like to me. But let's add some context here. Hopefully you can see that. All right. Says President Trump is questioning his administration's aggressive strategy in Venezuela following the failure of a U.S.-backed effort to oust President Nicolas Maduro, complaining he was misled about how easy it would be to replace the socialist strongman with a young opposition figure, according to administration officials and White House advisors. Yes, according to administration officials and White House advisors. This sounds like a way to save face for the upcoming elections, to look so that he doesn't look like a regime change interventionist candidate, right? He ran on the appearance of being anti-intervention, but as we've seen so far, he has been an interventionist. Now, this, I think, is Trump placing all the blame, basically passing the buck to John Bolton. And a lot of people don't like John Bolton in the first place. And people don't know why the fuck Trump hired him in the first place. But this was 100% Trump's screw up, as well as John Bolton, as well as Mike Pompeo, right? It's his guys out there all week in major news, people talking about it over and over again, right? The truck running over the guy. You heard Crowder say it 100 fucking times. This was a major news story, and you're telling me Trump had no idea how far they were going to go with this. This is him waiting until it failed, which it did, and then making himself look better to the public. And I'm afraid some people are going to bite on it. And that's a two-pronged type of thing. Two-pronged problem of people liking that he's doing this. First, it's the Trump fans that are going to like him no matter what and make excuses for him, just like they've been doing about Venezuela. But now they're going to have to, eat some crow and realize and go with what he's saying now, which is, oh, he was always against it. He just, I was selling it for no reason, basically. Like the Steven Crowders, the Alex Joneses of the world. They were selling this war. They were selling this. They're selling civil war in Venezuela. And now they're going to have to back off because of Trump's backing off. But, yeah, in the populist mindset, people are going to be in favor of him getting out, and they're going to applaud him for it. But those are already Trump supporters. Let's throw them to the side. It's the people that take everything at its face value. A lot of journalists that want to, I understand, they want to be credible. They want to take incidents as they are objectively on the surface. But this could be Trump's plan the whole time, right? They read this and then they're thinking like, oh, good job, Trump. You're putting a leash on John Bolton. Good job. And they give him praise and they give him kudos for this. When really it could have been his plan to have this whole scenario play out the way well, he wanted the regime to change in Venezuela, but everything up until the failure of it could have been a part of his plan. I think it was. I really think it was. And now that it failed, you can pass it on to John Bolton, and people are going to say, boo, John Bolton. Good job, Trump. You did something right for once. That's the problem. People, I think, that are good people are going to buy this story on its face and give Trump applause, just like they did in Syria. I might have gave him applause in Syria because he didn't do as much horrible things as you might think he would. So you're thinking, oh, he's pulling out of Syria. Oh, maybe he'll pull out of Yemen. Maybe he'll pull out of this area. But no, not the case. But yeah, this time around, I'm not giving him any fucking credit for this. Zero. He gets none. He's going to have to really prove himself. But at least I didn't bomb there. No credit for that. Let me continue reading here. All right. You see that? Okay. The president's dissatisfaction has crystallized around National Security Advisor John Bolton, and what Trump has groused is an interventionist stance at odds with his view that the United States should stay out of foreign quagmires. Well, that's fucking bullshit. Did he not just veto the Yemen bill to get us out to take away our support to Saudi Arabia and Yemen? Did he not just veto that? Maybe it's because not enough people care about it, so he doesn't have to worry about saving face there. This is why I don't believe him about this story in Venezuela. If you don't think that's the U.S. getting caught up in a quagmire, you're fucking crazy. We have the internet nowadays. People know who's involved, who's funding the Saudis, and who's doing all this shit. If you don't consider what we're doing in Yemen as a quagmire, it's going to lead to a real quagmire, to where we're in someplace, Iran or whatever. Right? You can see us ramping up and Trump ramping up in Iran with Iran. I didn't hear much about that here. Maybe he's in a little more favor with that one. Wonder why. I continue reading. Trump has said in recent days that Bolton wants to get him into a war. You're a part of it, asshole. Stop lying to people. Stop placing the blame on Bolton so you look better come election year. A comment that he's made in jest in the past, but that now betrays his more serious concerns, one senior administration official said. So this is all coming from administration officials, White House sources, White House advisors. Come on, man. If you don't think you're getting played. The administration's policy is officially unchanged in the wake of a fizzled power play last week by U.S.-backed opposition leader Juan Guaido, but U.S. officials have since been more cautious in their predictions of Maduro's swift exit, while reassessing what one official described as the likelihood of a diplomatic long haul. So, yeah, I can paraphrase from here on. He thought it would be a quick, we go in, we support this guy, that guy takes over, and then we're done. So you're telling me the President of the United States, with all the information, all the quote-unquote power, did not know that Guaido was a minority in that country as far as support, that the majority was for Maduro. See, do you see how this is playing? Do you see how the QAnon types are going to go on the internet and say the deep state tried to trick them into thinking this was an easy win for freedom and capitalism? You're telling me he didn't know that Maduro had the majority of the military behind him, the majority of the people behind him? There's fucking journalists out there with iPhones filming things that show you that. And he didn't fucking know? He's going to play this off as if it's the deep state tricking him. Alex Jones is probably going to repeat that stance, even though he already advocated for a war in Venezuela or some form of civil war by arming whatever you want to call them, the opposition, moderate rebels. That's just me, my opinion, my fair warning. I don't believe any of this bullshit from Trump. I think it's a way for him to get reelected. Foreign policy is a huge deal with people. A lot of Trump supporters voting for Tulsi this time around. Foreign policy is a huge deal amongst people, especially people who really look into politics and look into issues and look into policy. All right, that's it. Please subscribe if you feel like. Always comment, agree, disagree. Trump fans, where you at? I dare you. I fucking dare you. Donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery, link in the description box. Click that link. Donate to the GoFundMe for Pyramid 7 and his wife Devon. Please help them out. Any amount will help. And with all that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in.